You know what I heard the blue team say about the red team? That you can't roll dice. And you know something, lads? Sometimes I wonder if it's true myself. You want to pick up the game there, boys, in a big way. They don't call it breaking ball because it's on the card. They call it breaking ball because that's what a banished door is supposed to do. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games. And today we're reviewing Emerald Gift's Breaking Ball Gaelic football board game. For those of you who are Irish, you should be able to recognise the sport that this board game is based upon almost immediately. For those of you, however, who haven't a clue what I'm talking about, Gaelic football is one of Ireland's 4 national sports and can be very loosely described as a combination of soccer and rugby. It's a lot rougher than soccer, but not as rough as rugby. GAA football is a very fast, very high-scoring sport. There's no offside rule, and forward players maintain a permanent presence in their opponent's half. It is an incredible game that is a core part of our national identity and heritage, and I think Emerald Gift has done a brilliant job of recapturing the feel of the game right here in this box. Now, upon receiving this game, I thought I would have to go into extensive details about the game of GAA's Gaelic football itself in order to review both the board game and to play the game with a non-Irish gamer who would be unfamiliar with the sport. However, Emerald Isle have made a very sensible choice in streamlining the rules of the game to maintain the high-scoring pace of the field sport without losing the essence of what the actual sport is. The nearest board game equivalent that I can draw upon to explain this game, of course, is Blood Bowl, an insanely complicated, albeit incredibly fun, fantasy game version of American football. Its rule set, however, is dense, overly elaborate, and involves a great deal of dice rolling, square-specific rules, and positions, and a large degree of push-your-luck mechanics in order to coordinate a good play. It's a great game, but one that's very difficult to teach with its 56-page rulebook that doesn't even include the more advanced rules of the game and the league options. Breaking Ball, on the other hand, is the polar opposite. A straightforward 18-page rulebook with colour-coordinated cards for easy play and 4 specific dice that do only one job each only, instead of a multitude of functions like its nearest board game equivalent. It is all the fun of Blood Bowl with only a fraction of the rules. Right, lads. When a person is born, they have 270 bones in the body. When they're an adult, it goes down to 206. I want you to go out there and break some bones so that the opposing team all have 270 bones again. Do you get me? There are 15 players on the pitch, with 1 star player per team. Players are set up throughout the pitch with an equal amount of players and markers in both halves. On kick-off, player possession is decided with the attacking player rolling a 6-sided black die. Now, on 2 sides of this die, there is a clean catch, in which the attacking player retains possession. There is lost, in which the defending player gains possession. And finally, 3 breaking ball sides, in which possession is determined by drawing a random card from the breaking ball deck. The Breaking Ball deck covers a multitude of events, from happenstance to skillful play and to fouls, including the sending off of players, which in turn informs, changes tactics and dictates the following plays effectively, and covers the unpredictability of this field sport very, very well, as Gaelic football is a game in which possession is quickly gained and lost. It leads to a great, quick game of double bluff, where the ball is passed and danced around the field as players search for an opportunity to score, and it maintains the pace of the game beautifully, as players are not taking inordinate amounts of time deciding their next move. If the defending player has 2 markers to a pitch segment, then the defender gets 2 opportunities to stop the attacker, and vice versa should the attacking player have the advantage and have 2 attackers to 1 defender. It's simple, straightforward, and utterly effective. Michael, though,
For God's sake, every time you take a shot, you roll a wide. Will you just stop taking shots from the outer field and kick it into the other part? You know, we've a better chance with the yellow die. You need to feckin' stop going for glory and pass the ball to a player who's a higher chance of scoring. And Michael, the other Michael, little Michael, this, I know, is an amateur sport, but we have professional standards. Keep the clothes on, all right?
The scoring system in this game also benefits from this practical style of play, because once an attacking player has possession in a scoring zone, instead of attacking, they can opt to shoot for a point instead. There are 3 dice for this mechanic, with a blue one for the scoring zone that is furthest away, a yellow one for the zones that are next to the goal, and a red dice for a direct shot on the goal itself, which will net you, by the way, a full 3 points, as opposed to a single point in any other scoring area. The odds, of course, change depending on the coloured dice you use, and this in turn ensures both a high scoring game and a great many attempts on target, with the constant temptation to push your luck for a goal. A goal, of course, has a similar system where once an attacker has a shot on goal, players choose a colour-coded card, and if the cards match, the defender saves the goal and steals possession. And finally, there's the movement of the players on the field. Before kickoff or resumption of play, each gamer can move 1 token, either 2 spaces or 2 tokens 1 space, with the attacking player moving first. This changes up the layout of the game effectively, with midfield in particular becoming a highly contested area for control of the ball. Now, I've played this game with several people. Some were passionate about Gaelic football, some were allergic to it, and I even got to play this game with one gamer from Russia who had never even seen a Gaelic football match before, and I was able to thoroughly enjoy this game with all of them. The streamlined rules of the game made it very easy to teach, and I found that by forcing a quick pace to the game, once players had the fundamentals of the rules down, it made it a thoroughly enjoyable and engaging experience.
Right, Tommy, I know you're not feeling well with the old coronavirus. I don't care. Go out and infect the other team, okay? Be useful for a change.
There are several subtle variants of the game, where you can play a realistic 35 minutes in each half and include wind as a factor. There are also secret win conditions, where it's the first player to score 2 goals, or even the first player to score 10 points. And of all of them, I found the most enjoyable was the realistic full 35 minute and a half variant, as my opponent and I were engaged in an almost constant tit-for-tat aspect of scoring up until half-time, where one of my opponents had his players sent off, and play changed significantly as a result, as I suddenly had a much bigger advantage in midfield. This, of course, forced my opponent, Rob, to shake up his marking, and I found my poor goalkeeper surrounded by forwards, because when Rob did gain possession, he had no compunction in risking it all on a goal every single time. Of course, this balanced out again when one of my own players got sent off and the teams were matched again. Fortunately, I'm happy to report that the red shirts of Cork put paid to the blue-shirted antics of the Dubs that day. Now, it's a thoroughly enjoyable experience, and one that, despite being uniquely Irish, is very accessible to all, regardless of both origin or age. It's a game I'm delighted to have in my collection. So until next time, this is Sean from The Lucky Roll. Good luck, God bless, and always remember, the banished store's word is law.